Well, hello everyone. This is Mr. Wayner here. I'm just making a quick video to go over a couple of the problems that are presented in the homework over this weekend. Now we're going to be dealing with some fractions that have different denominators. Now I put a 4 as a denominator here. There are some denominators that we'll run into like 8, where I could take my denominator of 4 and I could say, what times 4 is 8? And I could just multiply this fraction. In this case, it would be 4 times what is 8? 4 times 2 is 8. And 1 times 2 would be 2. So I could do it that way. Now, the problems that we're going to be looking at aren't that simple. For example, we'll see if I can erase this here. Oh, I don't think it will let me. So I'm going to cross this off and change this to a 3. Suppose that we had 2/3 and 1/4. We go back to our rule of we need to multiply by the opposite denominator. So for this fraction here, I need to multiply by the 3. So 1 times 3 and 4 times 3. Likewise on the other side, we have 2/3. Multiply by the opposite denominator, which is 4. So 2 times 4 and 3 times 4. Then we'd multiply everything out and add it together. We're going to do a couple sample problems here that are actually right from the homework. So feel free to check your work as we go along or do the work with me here. Okay, so we're on the next slide, and the first problem that we're going to do is 4/10 plus 4/5. Now this is one of the problems that is in your homework. It's number 9. This problem right here, this one's kind of nice because I see 4/5 and I say, well, 5 times what is 10? These numbers kind of work together. 5 times 2 is 10. All right, times 2 times 2. A lot of kids always say, do I need to write this? And I always say, yes. I have never met someone that has been better off with not writing this, or they've been more successful if they haven't written it. More often, actually every single time someone's written it, they've been more successful. So we're going to rewrite the problem below. We have 4/10 plus 8/10, which is 12/10. Remember, my denominator stays the same, and I add my two numerators, which is 12. I ask myself, how many times can I take 10 out of 12? Well, I can do that one time. And there are 2 pieces left over, so 2/10. Now remember, simplify to the lowest terms. So in this case, the lowest terms would be 1 and 1/5. Let's do another problem. Okay, we're going to take a peek at number 14. Number 14 is as follows. We have 6/9 plus 1/2. Now, in this case, these denominators are not compatible. 2 times something isn't 9. So I need to multiply by, yes, you know it, the opposite denominator. So I multiply by 2 and 2, by 9 and 9. Where did the 9 and 2 come from? Well, good thing you asked. It came from the opposite denominator. This 9 came from here. This 2 came from there. So if I rewrite my problem, I have 12/18 plus 9/18, which is 21/18. The same thing as 1 and 3/18. Now, a lot of people miss this one here because they forget that both 3 and 18 are both divisible by 3. So this can be reduced to 1 and 1/6, and that's our final answer. Okay, the next problem we're going to try, this one's a tricky one. We have 8/12 plus 8/11. To multiply by the opposite denominator. Part of what makes this hard is that they're just bigger digits. I'm going to rewrite. So I have 88 132nds plus 96 132nds. Now that equals, when added together, 184 132nds. Holy cow, that's a big number. Can reduce this down. I can pull 132 out. How many times from 184? I could do that one time. How many pieces would I have left over? 52. Now you want to ask yourself, what do I notice about both these numbers in the fraction? Well, if they're both even, we for sure can divide by 2. I'm going to write that in there. Divide by 2, divide by 2. We can simplify it to 1 and 26, 66. Oh, well, they're still both even. Let's divide by 2 again. So we have 1 and 13 33rd. Cannot reduce any further. Remember, a key is that my 13 is a prime number. 33 is actually a composite number. There's multiple numbers that multiply together to equal 33. That's our final answer right here. That is a tricky one. Lastly, I'm going to do one of the subtractions due on Tuesday, so don't worry about it over the weekend. But we're going to look at number 2, which is 2/3 minus 3/8. Need to multiply by the opposite denominator because 3 times something is not 8. I multiply this side by 3. I'm going to rewrite it as 16/24 minus 9/24. I think subtraction sometimes can be a little bit easier here. I come out with 7/24. I cannot reduce it any further, so this would be my final answer. Okay. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you out a little bit and it put a smile on your face today. So I love you all very much. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me by email or by phone. Talk to you later and see you soon.